guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I transformed my front entryway closet into a mudroom slash bench area. Now, we had a slow start to 2022, as I mentioned in my last video, but I have plenty of DIY content and furniture flipping videos, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of that. I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Wagner, for introducing me to their Painstick Easy Roller. I'll be talking more about it and how I made this project a lot easier later on in the video, so let's go ahead and get started.
Alright, so first things first, this is what my front entryway closet looks like. As embarrassing as it is to share, this is the reality. Shoes piled up high on this rack and a bunch of other stuff that has just gotten shoved in there and we've pretty much forgotten about. So to be able to tackle this makeover, the first thing I had to do was completely empty it and also give it a quick vacuum. After removing the pull and bifold door, I measured the width and the length of the closet and began cutting my 2x4s that I would be using for my support system. I created pocket holes in order to later be able to attach them together. Before securing anything, I made sure to dry fit everything, square everything off, and make sure everything was even. Now I will mention that the bottom is not directly attached to the studs, and the extra support boards I added standing up are more purposely placed for the drawers I will be building later because I will need something to be able to attach my drawer slides to. The top 2x4s that will be used for the seat, however, are directly attached to the studs, and I used a stud finder and marked where to attach the screw. After it was attached to the wall, then I began adding my cross pieces and secured those to each other using the pocket holes I had made earlier and made sure everything was squared. I moved on to removing this extra wood piece used for the door so that it would be completely smooth. I would suggest doing this at the beginning, but I forgot to do it then. My closet, like most, already had a shelf, but it was too low in my opinion, so I removed it, but I will be adding one back later on. Finally, it was time to measure and cut out all of the shiplap that I will be adding to the wall. I decided on pre-primed pine shiplap, but you can use MDF if you'd prefer. It's a little bit less expensive. After I had all of the shiplap cut, I moved on to creating the boxes for my drawers. I measured and cut my boards out of some scrap 1/2-inch birch plywood I had in my garage. I created pocket holes on the shorter sides and the bottom of what would become the box in order to join them together. I chose not to use glue in case I ever decide to replace any of the boards. Remember when measuring your opening to count for the 1-inch width of the slides as well as another 1 inch for the sides of the box. Deduct that from your overall width to determine how wide to cut the front and back pieces.
Okay, so I've already installed this drawer and the hinges. Obviously I still need to put the face front on this, but I wanted to show you quickly how I installed those. Obviously I didn't want to have to show you both, so I think as long as I show you one, it should be sufficient. It's not as hard as people may think it is. It kind of seems intimidating at first. If you do it this way, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
As you can see, I used 3/4 inch spacers to determine how high to place my slides and to make sure that the back and the front were the same. Then I simply just attached the slide using the screws that it came with. Once both sides were attached, I took my box and inserted it into the slot. I used a 1/4 inch scrap piece of plywood I had laying around as my spacer and then attached the slide to the box on both sides. I added 1x4s and a couple of 1x1s to form a face frame and then moved on to attaching all of my shiplap with brad nails. There were a couple of pieces I had to make slightly narrower in order to make them fit properly. I did trim out the shiplap with some simple, relatively inexpensive trim. This is of course optional, but I feel like it gives it a more professional and finished look. It was time to move to building the drawer fronts. After I measured and cut my rails and stiles, I used pocket holes to join them together. I didn't mind using pocket holes because they will not be seen. I did measure and cut them out to be 1/2 inch overlay all the way around. I would fill any small gaps and then cut 1/4 inch plywood panels to attach directly to the drawer box to cover the existing pocket holes. I figured this would be easier than trying to add it to the actual drawer front. I attached them using brad nails and then caulked them to prep for paint. I also went ahead and caulked all of the seams on the shiplap. I used that premium wood filler to fill in all of the nail holes. Once everything was dry, I went back and sanded everything smooth using a sanding sponge that was 240 grit. I am using a very popular color called Iron Ore by Sherwin-Williams in their Valspar Signature Collection. I used a trim angled brush to get in between each groove of the shiplap and all of the edges. I do believe it'd be easier if I had painted that part of the shiplap before attaching it to the wall. Again, thank you so much to Wagner for sending over and introducing me to their Paint Stick Easy Roller. It made painting the walls so much easier and faster than with a traditional roller. It came with a roller, the pole, and a fill tube. To get started, all it took was a few simple steps. After mixing the paint, you attach the fill tube directly onto the can of paint, which can be latex or oil-based coatings, including paint and primer in one. You attach your roller and secure it onto the latch, and then place the fill valve directly onto the fill tube. Once inserted, all you do is pull back on the plunger to fill the tube and you're ready. Squeeze the trigger to have the paint come through the roller and just roll the way you normally would. The pole holds up to 22 ounces of paint directly in the handle and eliminates the need for messy roller trays. Even in tight closet space, I was able to comfortably reach all of the walls, including the ceilings, with ease. Depending on what you use, cleanup is as easy as pushing any leftover paint back into your can and flushing the pole handle with water or mineral spirits. I will have a link in the description if you're interested in ditching the paint trays and making painting that much easier to tackle with the Wagner Paint Stick Easy Roller. For the bench and the shelf, I cut down common boards to size and sanded them down smooth with 120 grit followed by 220. I stained them using Minwax Special Walnut as it is one of my all-time favorite stain colors. I measured and made sure the support boards were level. I used a scrap 1x1 piece of pine wood I had. I secured it to the wall with brad nails, and I also secured the bench boards with brad nails. After adding the finishing touches and decor pieces, we were done. Now let's remember what this closet space used to look like and what it looks like now.
Alright, so that is all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future uploads, as I will be doing my very first furniture flip of 2022 next week. So y'all be kind, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.